Tonight, we're going to talk about the town hall slash debate on CNN that featured Trump and a really, really disappointed host. Let's talk about it. Hello, everyone. This is Keith. Welcome to the Ghetto Sapien channel, your home of inner city intelligence. So last night, CNN hosted a town hall that looked much more like a debate to me. And I think they were trying to set Trump up, but you can't control the guy. So he more or less took it over, and even the left was complaining about it. It was so sad and pathetic that he didn't fall into the trap. So the difference between a town hall and a debate, let me explain it. And this is why I got confused as to what the hell I was watching. It did seem more like a debate than a town hall. The purpose of a town hall is to display the candidate in front of the voters, potential voters. So if you're a Republican, you need to be in front of Republican voters or people who voted Republican or independent. And if you're a Democrat, same. You have an audience full of Democrats or independents who are probably going to vote on you. It's not a debate. Debates are for later on during the primaries and then during the general election. The town hall is, the back and forth is really between the audience and the candidate, not between the candidate and the person hosting the town hall. I'm going to play a couple of montage of Joe Biden's town halls on CNN, and I'm going to play a clip of the town hall slash debate that Trump had on CNN. So here we go.
With 40% of all products coming into the United States of America on the West Coast go through Los Angeles and what am I doing here?
Is it Long Beach?
Long Beach, thank you.
Just in terms of inflation, because you had told us at a town hall, I think it was in July, that this was just near-term inflation. The Wall Street Journal recently talks to like 67 financial experts who said that they saw high inflation going all the way or deep into 2022.
Gigantic disadvantage.
Mr. President, the question was on on community colleges, which was a big campaign promise that you made. You talked about that a lot on the campaign trail.
Yeah, and I'm going to get it done. Pockets. If you notice, there's about, 4 or 5 states that have close to 45% or whatever. I don't hold me the exact number.
Lower than that. Even in my home state of Louisiana is 36%, and I think there are other southern states.
No, but I mean, of all the cases, a very overwhelming majority of those cases are in 4 or 5 states.
Yeah.
And it's just not, there's nothing political about this. The people who seem to have the most impact are that for that 17-year-old kid, the kid he or she plays ball with. Mm-hmm. You got the vaccination?
Yeah.
Are you okay? I mean, you seem no, it works. Or or the mom and dad, or the neighbor, or when you go to church, or when you're I really mean it. There are trusted interlocutors. Think of the people. If your kid wanted to find out whether or not there's a man on the moon or whatever, something, or, whether those aliens are here or not, who are the people they talk to beyond the kids who love talking about it? They go to people they respect. And they say, what do you think? And so they should be asking other people, for everything from their teachers to their ministers to their priests to people that they trust.
Well, part of it is, don't you think part of it is that young people, especially those who are 30, maybe 30, 40 and under, they feel like they're invincible. They haven't faced mortality.
Isn't it amazing we're saying 40 and younger? It's hard to say.
All right, so that was Biden having his Grandpa Simpson tying an onion to his belt montage where he just kind of wandered off. And I don't know what the hell he was talking about. And it looked like Don didn't know what he's talking about either, but that was bad enough almost to invoke the 25th Amendment just from one of his town halls. But as you can see, it wasn't argumentative. It was very congenial, cordial. There was a back and forth and an attempt to humanize the candidate because they like Joe Biden. Big surprise. So there was no confrontation, there was no arguments, no nothing. Contrast that with what happened last night. This is the CNN's town hall with Trump.
I want to get to another voter. Caitlin Boissonneau is a student here at St. Anselm College. She's a Republican. This will be the first election that she has voted in. What's your question for the president, Caitlin?
Hello, President Trump.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
The current administration has made it clear that we should continue to provide military equipment to Ukraine so that they can defend themselves. Do you support this decision, and how would you deal with the increasing threat posed by Vladimir Putin?
First of all, thank you very much. It's really nice. And it's an important question, so important, because we're giving away so much equipment. We don't have ammunition for ourselves right now. We don't have ammunition for ourselves. We're giving away so much. But here's the thing. I have to say it to start off. No longer matters. If I were president, this would have never happened. And even the Democrats admit that. Putin knew it would have never happened. And his pipeline would have never happened. A lot of things would have never happened. But this would never have happened. And all those dead people, both Russian and Ukrainian,
that's not a question from the audience, by the way.
And all those cities that are blown up and disintegrated right to the ground, that wouldn't have happened. Okay.
The question is, would you continue to give Ukraine money and weapons if you're elected? What's the answer?
I have a very good relationship with President Zelensky because, as you know, he backed me up with the phony impeachment hoax number one when he said, the president didn't do anything wrong. So
that was
I happen
when you
to
asked
like.
him for an investigation
Yeah, that's right. And I was totally exonerated, by the way. Just a waste of time and money.
You were impeached over that. You were impeached over that. But let's stay on topic here, Mr. President, because the question is, would you give Ukraine weapons
I was
and
impeached
funding?
by a crazy woman named Nancy Pelosi.
But the question here is, would
He's
you give Ukraine
getting under her
weapons
skin.
and funding if you were elected?
I would sit down. Let me just put it a nicer way. If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours.
How would you settle that war in one day?
Because I'll meet with Putin, I'll meet with Zelensky. They both have weaknesses and they both have strengths. And within 24 hours, that war will be settled. It'll be over. It'll be absolutely over.
Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people and breaking down this country.
And right there's a great soundbite. Right there.
Can I just follow up on that? You said you don't think in terms of winning and losing. Mr. President, can I just follow up on that because that's a really important statement
let me
that
just
you just
follow
made
up.
there. Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying, Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying. And I'll have that done. I'll have that done in 24 hours. I'll have it done. You need the power of the presidency to do it.
So I'm sure you can see the difference. That she was confrontational. She was argumentative. She wasn't really helping a conversation go between the studio audience and the president, the former president. She just really wanted to argue with him herself, just to try and get some sound bites for CNN. And speaking of which, it probably failed because that's why they cut it 20 minutes. Yes, the debate, Town Hall was supposed to go on for an hour and 20 minutes. It went on for an hour. They cut 20 minutes out of it. No explanation, no nothing. I'm sure they were getting good ratings, so that probably wasn't it. But I think soon after, Trump kind of beat her up pretty badly. And made CNN look bad, and CNN on Twitter, they were lit up. The leftists were having a fit, saying, how could you let Trump get on? Or probably thinking, how can you let Trump sit so close to you? You need to kill him? How did he live when he was right there? You had him in CNN. Should have arrested him or something. So they were disappointed that Trump was still breathing while in the CNN studios. But they were upset. Tweets were going back and forth. AOC was upset. The Lincoln Project, one of the lunatics from that, was mad and cursing on CNN and Twitter. So that might have had something to do with it. But I also think the fact that that last clip showed that he is not going to be feeding the military-industrial complex. He still wants to wind down wars and and pull United States pull our military out of areas of conflict where we don't need to be. There's a whole bunch of people, a lot of bureaucrats, and a lot of corporate leaders, like CEOs like Boeing and Grumman, who would not like to see that happen. You notice how quickly the war started up in Ukraine after we pulled out of Afghanistan. It wasn't even a year, just 8 months. So he's not going to be feeding a war machine. So I think there's no way they're going to let Trump be president, at least not easily. So I think that's what may have really nailed it for this interview, was the left is complaining, and the military folks, the ones, at least ones at the top, who like the fighting, and the politicians who like the money laundering aspects of the Ukraine, said we got to put an end to this because you ain't helping our cause. And, so he's not feeding the bloodlust, so he's got to go. But, hey, that's just my take on this. What's yours? Like, share, comment, and subscribe.